It's a good morning. Happy Wednesday. Today is Gratitude Wednesday, but we are going to talk about something else. How is everybody doing? Please say hello to me. If you've not liked my page, please do that. My name is Penny, and I come here just about every day to encourage one person. So if you're finding me for the first time, please like my page and go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And I just hope that I can encourage one person, motivate one person, give one person hope as we continue living our lives. Today I want to talk about something called materialism and titles. And the reason why I changed Gratitude Wednesday to talk about this, there is a video on social media that was making rounds coming off of Kenya of a white woman who went to Kenya and married a guy that is a motorbike rider who transports people by the motorbike. He's called a boda boda in Kenya. And they made such headlines because apparently this woman has several degrees, master's degrees, and she's married this guy. So it's making news. Why is this thing making news? It's because as a society, we are so caught up in titles. She has degrees. And by the way, they just started the marriage. And they're already making it like big news. She has 4 degrees, 4 or 3 degrees. And it's such a big thing, okay? Because society is caught up in so many ways of labeling people, saying so-and-so is this, so-and-so is that. So it brings me to talk about something called materialism, or getting caught up in titles. And then I also want to quote a friend of mine. There's a friend of mine, his name is Flavian Moki. I don't think he can remember. I don't even think he knows. This is it has to be over 20 years ago. We went to Washington, D.C. for a weekend getaway. And we went into we were in an African bar, and we were having a restaurant actually. We were having drinks, and food was served, and as we were talking, a couple of the people at the table got caught up in talking about what they do and their titles. And the whole conversation became about work. And he said, "Excuse me, guys." He said, "Listen, we are here having a good time. We all do different things. Let us not come here and make it a place of work. We leave work. We came to we had left New Jersey to go to Washington, D.C. I think my friend Oga was there. It was a couple of us. Flavian stopped everybody and interrupted the whole group and said, "Listen, let us not talk about what we do and our titles here, because it is really rubbing other people the wrong way. Not because we don't celebrate your achievement, but when you meet people in a setting where you're all seated together, let us try to just enjoy the moment. Let us not try to bring the titles, And that brings me to the discussion that I wanted to have today. As we go through life, if we can give the definition of money. Money is a definition, is a form of exchange. If you know what money means, is a form of exchange. It's a medium of exchange for services, goods and services. You pay money, you get the services. As we go by life, okay, if you go to a shop to buy food, if you're taking a plane, if you're buying a house, if you're going to whatever you're doing around the world, I have not been to a place where they sit and ask me, "How did you get this money that you're boarding the plane?" I just came from Italy. I don't remember any one place in Italy that asked me how I got the money to buy a train ticket. When you go somewhere, nobody sits there to ask you, "How did you get your money?" When you're buying your services, you don't need to explain how you acquired your money. Some big purchases in other countries, you can be asked to say how you acquired your money because they see a large amount of money. But on a day-to-day living, if you're traveling, if you're buying a car, if you're putting gas, you're doing day-to-day living. There is nobody who wants to know how you got your money. So we don't need to explain how we got our money. And let's talk about materialism for a minute. Materialism is when people want to acquire so much, okay? It is what money can buy. What can money buy? Ask yourself, once you've acquired the money as an engineer, as a doctor, as a housekeeper, as a nurse, what can your money buy? That is a question that you need to ask yourself. Lately, money is buying popularity. Like, people just want to be famous. They want to be known. They are craving for people to know them. So once they get their money, they are going to buy expensive cars. They are going to buy expensive homes. They are going to buy expensive clothes. So that way they can look popular. Some of them just buy things or buy homes in certain neighborhood. So they, like in Kenya, if you live in Kilimani, if you live in Buruburu, they buy homes. You live in Karen, they buy homes so they can gain status. Some of the people take their money to gain power. They are powerful. They have power over everybody because now they have the money. Some of the people just want to appear a certain way. People are wearing clothes that cost $2,000-$3,000. I just learned there's a company. I didn't know there was a company named Burberry or Burberry. I learned about it this weekend. And a pocketbook in that shop costs, at least the cheapest pocketbook I saw was $600-$700. Just a pocketbook. There are pocketbooks for $1,200, $1,300, $1,400. There's even alcohol for $2,000. There's alcohol for $500. All in the name of status. And if you don't know that that pocketbook is $500, $600, somebody has to know that this is something of value for them to even know that, you know what, this pocketbook costs X amount of money. Image. How we want people to perceive us. Like, this woman is being written on the news that she has 4 degrees, while the man that she's going to marry has no degree. He's just a rider. And it's making headlines. And they just got married. It is the beginning. We spend so much money so we can create an image for other people to see us a certain way. Why are you doing what you do? When you buy your house, why did you buy the house? Why do you buy certain clothes? Why do you drive a certain car? All these material things that you acquire, why do you acquire all this materials? Who are you trying to please? Okay, you have a huge empty home. You've lost the relationships that you had with people. After you buy this big house in Princeton, after you decorate the home, after you put all the nice things, you bring in an interior designer, you put the nice curtains, and then the house is empty. You're depressed, you're lonely. When was the last time you sat with friends without bringing your titles, how much money you have? You sat down and had a meal with a friend. Relationships. Materialism has made, we value material things, has made us not to even have lunch with a friend that we went to primary school together who's not successful, but you were in the same class. But now, because you are successful, you are financially stable, you have all this money, you buy this home and you move up. A woman that I liked her pieces of work, Kate Spade. I could never, in fact, I could never afford a Kate Spade bag. I would go in, I'd like the design, but her bags, the cheapest I could see was like $100, $200. Do you understand buying that much, buying a bag that is costing $100? How much money do you have to put in that bag? Kate Spade was so miserable. She was going through a lot. And she took one of her pieces, a scarf, you know, how you design a scarf, and she killed herself. Modesty, thank you for the... Thank you for the stars. Why is my phone overheating here? It's hot in the car. It's hot. Because of the winter, it is getting hot. Okay. Kate Spade killed herself. Okay? I just want to cool this down. She killed herself because even after she acquired all these things, she was still not happy. Okay? Think about that. You have all these things and yet you're miserable. You're spending all your time buying ABC. You're in shops. You're here. You're there. You don't have time to just sit and have a meal because you're trying to acquire material things so you can please your friends. So you can please, I don't know who you're trying to please. Money cannot replace human relationships. That is something that we need to be reminded of. Remember that money cannot buy happiness. Money can buy you certain things. Money can show you the world. Money can give you a home. But when it comes to human relationships, the best way for you to be less stressed is to have good human relationships. Look at your circle of friends. When was the last time you sat with your friends without bragging? A lot of you just sit there and brag, and you just make everybody so uncomfortable. Okay? You sit somewhere to have a meal, and here you are talking big, you know, putting other people down, showing people off how you've achieved this, you've achieved that. You make everybody so uncomfortable because of your titles. Why are we so caught up in titles? When are we going to understand that we all need one another? We need doctors. We need garbage collectors. We need builders. We need homemakers. We need designers. Okay? We need people to create these air conditioners, because now my car was overheating. I just switched. The air is coming. When are we going to get to a point where we know we need farmers? Without farmers, you're not going to eat. Without animals, there is no food. How are you going to get the food? Without the people at the cash register, there is nobody who's going to bring your food. How are you going to run a restaurant where there are no people who are cleaning the toilet? Who's going to clean your toilet when you go to your fancy hotel? Who's cleaning your toilet? When you go to a fancy hotel, who's carrying your bags? When you go to a fancy hotel, who's setting up your food? When you've acquired all these titles and you don't think that we don't need one another, the biggest question that you really need to understand yourself, to ask yourself, if today was the last day that you are going to be on this planet Earth, if something had to tell you today, especially those of you that have children, those of you that have spouses, if today was the last day that you are going to live today, are you going to spend the last day telling people how much you've achieved? Are you going to spend time telling your friends how much you care about them? Are you going to tell your children you could have done more? Ask yourself, if you knew that your time is limited, how are you going to adjust your life regardless of how much money you have? Sit down with your friends, take time. Sit down with your children, take time. Sit down with your spouse, take time. Besides how much money you have to invest in good human relationships. And talking of status, finally, since your time is limited on planet Earth, don't spend so much time trying to be me. You cannot live my life. You cannot live Claire's life. You cannot live Abdul's life. Try to live you. What do you want? Ask yourself. I like yellow, I like green. What do you want? Look at how I painted my colors yesterday. When I went to do my nails, this is what I put. If you copy me, if you're always copying other people, if you're always doing what other people are doing, when are you finally going to start living your life? When are you going to start really deciding that, you know what, a small house is okay, a small car is okay, simple hairdo is okay, fake eyelashes, I don't need them, makeup, I don't need it? When are you finally going to start living your life instead of copying everybody else and idolizing everybody else but yourself? We wear name brand. I looked at the history of this Barbary, because I didn't understand the history. It was started in 1856. That's when the guy started the company. Calvin Klein, Hilfiger, Michael Kors, all these name brand. They started them 1800 years ago. Like many years ago, like in the 15s, in the 16s, you understand? Sit down and design your life. Don't live for other people. You have a life to live. Take time and live your life. And you know you'll meet other people who are also living their life, so you can work together as a team. Thanks for watching. Claire, thank you for the stars. If you've not liked my page, please like my page. And I'm truly grateful for all the viewers that take their time to watch me. All I just want to do is just encourage one person to start doing you, to start building good relationships. Claire is saying, I totally agree, but I don't rush. these comments are just going through. I can't even read them. Yes, from Nyando Cheivere. Me, when I went to Italy, I was reminded of minimalism. I was reminded of my language being from Nyando Cheivere. I was reminded of retaining my village self. I was reminded of just maintaining my values and being myself. Those Italians cannot speak, they are not even trying to speak English. They have to find somebody to help you translate. I was reminded to stay original. I was reminded not to copy anybody else. Be yourself. Avoid materialism, acquiring so many things, looking for status, looking for fame, doing things just to please other people. That is not the way. The way is to be true to yourself and live your life with purpose, and live like today could be your last day. Don't miss life because you're trying to be Penny, because you cannot be me. You see, I decided to put this. Not everybody can put this. I have a bunch of this and they make me happy. So now, what really makes you happy? Are you going to just copy me just to copy me? You're just going to buy bags because I bought bags? You're just going to lock your hair because I locked the hair? What do you really want to do? Materialism and titles. Status. Be aware, because it's going to cost you. Cheers, guys, and have a lovely day.